In this lesson, we will look at questions from Unit 3, Section 4.3, Mixed and Entire Radicals. Question 1. What is 4 and the cube root of 3 written as an entire radical? So an entire radical is when there is no number in the front of our radical here. It is all placed underneath the radical symbol. So remember that the index is 3. So the index will tell us how many times we need to multiply 4 by itself in order to place 4 back under the radical symbol. So what we're going to do first, we're going to have the cube root of 4 cubed times 3, which equals the cube root again. 4 to the exponent of 3 is 64 times 3, which equals the cube root of 192. So our answer here is the cube root 192D. Question 2. What is the square root of 600 written as a mixed radical? So we want to take this one out and do the opposite of our multiple choice question. We want to take the entire radical of 600 and write it as a simplified mixed radical. So it is a square root. The index has a value of 2. We have to use our perfect square numbers. So let's look at our perfect square numbers. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, and of course they will keep continuing. If we look, we usually try to decide and choose a larger perfect square so that we will only have to reduce our square root once. If you recognize 100, that will evenly divide into 600. 6 times 100 is 600. So we're going to take the square root of 600 and we're going to simplify that. So that is going to be simplified to 100 times 6. Then we're going to branch off and rewrite it as two separate radicals. Square root of 100 times the square root of 6. Now we can look. 100 is on our list of perfect squares. So if you're not sure how to find the square root of 100, you can count in and see how many numbers it is from the beginning. So if we count on our list, it is the 10th number in. So the square root of 100 is 10. Now the square root of 6, that is not a perfect square. We cannot take the square root of 6 and get a whole number. So we're going to leave that as the square root of 6. So the square root of 600 written as a mixed radical is 10 and the square root of 6. What if you did this question and you weren't quite sure if you followed the right steps? You could check quite quickly to see if you have the right solution. So all you need to do is a square root, which means you would have to take 10 and square it. So it'll be 10 squared times 6. 10 squared is 100. You're multiplying it by 6. Therefore, the answer would be 600. And that would be the correct solution. So again, square root of 600 simplified is 10 and the square root of 6.